So Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO and leader of Doge, is a loser, and he's pissed. Check out these recent headlines. Elon Musk has lost more money than any other top billionaire so far in 2025. You also got this. Elon Musk lost nearly 18 billion in one day. On top of that, Musk loses 51 billion, but wait, there's a lot more at stake. And you got Elon Musk has lost 100 billion in net worth this year alone as Tesla stock plunges. Now, is it no wonder that suddenly, magically, Elon Musk is looking to possibly replace that billions of dollars by getting it from the government? So he's going to claim fraud at the Pentagon, fraud everywhere, right? And he's going to try to get some of that sweet cash. So he's angry, he's pissed off, he's losing in the courts. That's the subject of today's video. And check out what he's tweeting out today. I'd like to propose that the worst 1% of appointed judges, as determined by elected bodies, be fired every year. This will weed out the most corrupt and least competent. So basically, Elon Musk is upset because courts are ruling against him. And this happens quite a bit because he tries to break the law in so many different ways and brushes up with courts quite a bit. His fan base love Elon Musk, of course, because they hate the law. One of his guys is going, oh yeah, there's a judge in Delaware, and that refers to Elon Musk and his frozen pay package. He also got, great idea, I like it. That's a great idea, absolutely. Bottom 10%, the bottom tier. Again, Elon Musk wants to fire judges. They haven't been following the story. Basically, they are currently blocked, him and his Doge team, by court order. Judges blocked them. And here's the kicker. They have to delete any data. And I think this is a part that may really end up getting Musk in the end. We'll see. Musk has been actually tweeting out nonstop. It's hard to go through all this stuff. I'll just show you a little bit of it. He tweets out lots of memes. So this is some sort of cartoon. And he has like accounts that he interacts with all the time. So this one shows, it's a cartoon of, I guess, Democrats stealing from someone's purse. And then Musk is there to be the hero. And then the judge says, let him go. Or Musk is tweeting out Mike Lee, who's a senator from Utah. And Lee's big issue is that he wants to basically get rid of Social Security. Does it all the time. And they tweet about the issues that they, are into, the vaccine stuff like that. And you also got this. Elon Musk is fighting on his platform with members of Congress. So this is Daniel Goldman. And Daniel says, it wasn't just a freeze on Elon Musk and Doge accessing America's personal data. He was ordered to destroy any data they already took. Elon must confirm he has followed the court order. And this is Elon Musk's reply. We don't have any personal data of Americans, you corrupt moron. Daniel replies, tell it to the judge under oath. And it's funny when you read through this stuff. And this is something I want to point out, guys, is when you see the interactions of people and you see sort of like who's on one side, who's on the other side, you'll get a sense of like how these things go down. So for example, Representative Ro Khanna is interesting. He was saying, this is back in December, cutting wasteful funding and saving taxpayer money is not a partisan issue. We need to work with Elon Musk and Doge to break up the five prime oligarchy and hold defense contractors accountable. And basically the idea is saying, hey, if you want to cut waste and spending, sure, we can do that together. Just do it through the proper channels, basically. He actually even went on TV. This is, again, Khanna saying the same kind of stuff. Hey, Elon Musk, if you want to do waste and fraud, come do it to proper channels. Come to Congress and testify. Michael Steele on this was also saying the reason why he's not doing it is because Musk is a liar. And I said the same thing all the time. Musk is a liar. I would agree with Michael Steele on that. And yes, if you do find anything, present it before Congress, evidence, etc., do it through the proper channels. And that's the main thing with Musk. He doesn't like to do things properly. He's the kind of guy, for example, with his car company, Tesla. If he develops whatever new technology, he wants to put it on the road, forget about any proper licenses, forget about safety. Just he wants to do what he wants to do, which is essentially ignoring the rights or the safety of other people. That's sort of how Musk thinks. But yeah, I agree with Ro Khanna. Hey, if you want to do it properly, come to Congress. Also, it's kind of interesting one. Can we sue Elon Musk? This was Jamie Raskin talking about this. And the other thing I want to mention, a lot of these guys on the Democrat side, these are like law professors, lawyers, etc. They speak in ways that aren't necessarily name calling and sound pretty reasonable to me, but that's just me. These are the kind of it depends, like, and we'll get into the sort of how other people have different arguments of what is quote reasonable. But this is the kind of stuff, I guess you would get Musk on if you want to do a class action on behalf of the American people. Computer espionage, that would be against Musk. Unauthorized access to information. Trespassing on a government computer and computer fraud. Like there's any number of things that they can charge this guy with. I think the data and whether or not they delete it, it's going to be a big one myself. You also have this. Elon Musk tweeting out, a corrupt judge protecting corruption. He needs to be impeached now. And Glenn Beck, and it's just these people kind of run in the same circle of 20 or so in the manosphere / brolyarchy, which I'll kind of show you guys some more. But Glenn Beck says, let me see if I have this right. The Treasury Secretary cannot access any data from the Treasury. Wow. Who is afraid the secrets are coming out? This judge was not elected, nor was he given the mandate by the people. Enough is enough. We the people demand. And I think one of the big arguments that the Musks, the Trumps, and all their bros are arguing essentially is we won the election, and since we won the election, we can do anything, and law doesn't apply to us because we won the election. And I get the point of winning the election. That point I get. But the idea that just because you win an election, then suddenly, law doesn't matter, I think is kind of a ridiculous argument. But that's kind of the arguments you'll see being floated around. And I get their argument, but I think it's kind of a weak one. And I wanted to point this out, sort of like the brodosphere, manosphere. I was just kind of curious, what is Andrew Tate up to? Because that sort of captures that, audience base or voter block, however you want to say it. And this is the kind of stuff and the stuff that appeals to that type of person. Andrew Tate, 2 hours ago, winners America, right? They want to be around winners. The Trump era is the winners era. You have 30-year government veterans being fired by 19-year-old geniuses. Winners firing losers, right? So that's kind of, I guess this sort of talk, appeals to guys who are into UFC fighting, boxing, right, young, and they want to see all these old people go away, etc. And actually, I don't disagree in the sense of I'd like to see a generational shift, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I want all businesses and all government run by people who are really good at boxing. It's not necessarily and in terms of Andrew Tate stuff, my point of view of Andrew Tate is if you were to take a class from Andrew Tate on how to fight, I think he'd probably be pretty good. I think he's actually a pretty good fighter from my understanding. You guys can let me know how good he is. But whether or not I want to take, business things from him, that remains to be seen. But this is the kind of stuff that, again, appeals to the brodosphere, manosphere. The real world champions, Andrew Tate's dark motivation secrets, learn how he used fear to make billions. And again, this is the stuff that the Musks and the Tate fan base, they kind of intersect what they're listening to. On top of that, you got Elon Musk tweeting out, American flag, American flag. And this Percent guy, he gave this odd kind of interview, and he was claiming that the Musk people, in his own words, these are highly trained professionals. This is not the same roving band going around doing things, not some roving band. This is methodical, etc. So they're trying to claim that Musk teenagers are really, really awesome. On top of that, I don't know. Musk he tweets out so much crap. He's talking about Europe now. We want to get rid of Voice of America, that kind of stuff. They want to get rid of any kind of independent media in Russia or Ukraine. A lot of this stuff comes across as being pro-Russian to me when I look at this stuff. Mike Lee is angry. He's calling the courts a coup. That's the senator who wants to delete Social Security, complaining about Social Security, this kind of stuff. And I'll just say this, guys. If you're in Tesla stock or whatever, it's pretty hard to stick with this stuff. I mean, you got your CEO just tweeting out nonstop nonsense, and I guess he's preoccupied with everything else except Tesla. I would personally, I'd get out myself. I think there's no way you can stay in it. And then I saw this that I thought was kind of funny. Elon is upset that folks have started calling his Teslas swastikars, right? And then this was part of the hologram was projected on the German factory in Tesla. Hail Tesla. And apparently he's furious. So Elon Musk is furious that his cars are being called swastikas. I want to read some comments from our community here. This is from Stormlight. Stormlight says, the rumor is Trump and his wealthy associates use tariff announcements to manipulate the stock market for profit, causing market fear and sell-off. They could buy stocks at lower prices, then sell them at higher prices at once market stabilizes. This strategy based on timing the market. This is a market manipulation illegal, subject to regulatory scrutiny. So that's a something like, for example, that could be a thing. I don't know, but this is something that if there is indeed market manipulation, you just certainly want to look at it. But the Trumps and the Musks, they hate anyone looking at them. And this is something that they do. And I'm talking about Elon Musk, say, for example, he tweets out about whatever cryptos, same with Trump's. And yes, whatever things that they tweet out does go up. And the question would be, are they informing people ahead of time that they're tweeting out said things? So generally speaking, most people don't get involved with this kind of pump and dump kind of stuff. So be careful out there, be it your crypto coins or whatever. Here is MS Cololia. They say, according to Silly MTG, that would be, is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? It's a representative in Congress on the Republican side. According to MTG, the 20-somethings are the best, right? So again, the Republicans are going with I'm going to go with these young kids are awesome. The 20-somethings are the best. When did they learn forensic accounting or accounting, and do they have any collegiate degrees or project management certifications? We need to know more about them, their background, and their expertise, because Elon is on something working 120 hours a week, so his words mean squat. And to answer your question, my understanding is I don't think any of those kids graduated from college. I don't think you have any particularly fantastic education. I'll just say maybe just okay. I know one of them has got some problems with leaking out information at a former cybersecurity company that they worked at, and it's got some Russian connections. I personally don't trust any of these things that these Musks are saying or the people he's working with. He rushed them way too quickly through, and I don't know what their security clearances are. And then on top of that, it looks like they were looking for interns, specifically like young type people through Discord servers, etc. So there's that. But yeah, I understand the Republicans are trying to say, oh, but they're young 20-something, they're awesome. And plus they're dealing with the most sensitive data out there. This is OP Vixen says, the Elon committee is not looking for, quote, budding geniuses. Rather, they are selecting, quote, bros willing to break the law and arrogantly call themselves, quote, hackers. I can't help but wonder, really, are they indeed worthy of the name? Another comment coming in from Larry Jones. Larry says, a leader should never be the smartest person in the room. No one can be all-knowing. Only mob bosses and kings want absolute power. A U.S. president is not a mob boss or a king. And actually, that is a very good point. Part of the Musks or the Trumps or the Tates is essentially, it's interesting, they are this aggressive, person who, is in the words of Tate, uses fear to make billions. And they have all this loyal army of followers that kind of want to fall into that. I don't know if these people need father figures or whatever, what's kind of deficient about them that they want to follow someone like a Musk or Trump or Tate. You guys can let me know. But there's definitely a lot of desperate people out there. And yes, in terms of a good leader, a good leader is not someone who just tells everyone what to do. A good leader would be someone who listens, etc. And something that I'll just say this: when I pick teams or work with people, I want the smartest people around me possible, and I want to find people who are smarter than me in categories that I don't know much about. That's kind of what you want. You want to build a great team. But again, the Musks and the Trumps want people who are mostly loyal. That's kind of what they're going for. Janet says, Elon seems to think he is bulletproof, even though the value of X is 25% of what it was when he purchased it. News Today, February 9th, states that Elon wants the judge impeached who blocked the Doge access to the Treasury Department. Elon has zero authority, and probably 99% of his actions in the last 3 weeks is illegal. He wants to throw a coup against the U.S. government and get rid of 2.2 million federal employees while he dismantles government. And one thing I'll say this, and I appreciate your comment, Janet, is when you read through comments in our community, you can kind of get a sense of our community actually is well-informed, thoughtful, and we're not just name calling and or saying kind of like ridiculous arguments, which you'll see often from the bros and the essentially young followers of the Tates, the Musks, and the Trumps, those kind of thing. And actually, just talking out loud too, I was thinking about this. I guess Tate, Musk, and Trump cover 3 different generations. I'm just thinking about this, right? So wouldn't Tate be like kind of the younger, like the youngest generation out of those 3? And then maybe Musk is like the middle-aged one, and then Trump's the older one. So it's kind of covers the whole manosphere of demographics. That's what I was just thinking about that. Here's Walk Forever says Musk is probably not going to buy TikTok. He can't. The banks are trying to divest his Twitter debt, let alone getting into another bad business deal with him. So regarding the TikTok thing, okay, first, yes, it's true. Wall Street's selling off Musk's debt. Regarding Twitter, they still have more to sell off. Also, regarding the buying Twitter, if Trump can get his tariffs through, which he can just do, and then get the tariff money through their external revenue service into their sovereign wealth fund, which he just did executive order on, they actually could get the money to buy TikTok. And the question would be who would run it. So we'll see if they end up doing that. One of the things I will say about Musk is he tweets out like these kind of images quite a bit. So again, this appeals to that young male fan base. And lately, he's been interacting a lot with this guy named Mario Nawfal. I've been noticing quite a lot, like I don't know, like 20 tweets in a row kind of thing. And I looked up this Mario guy, and you'll see it. I think this is one of Mario's tweets here. Yeah, it'll just be a ton of Mario stuff. He just retweets it out. I noticed though that this Mario guy, if you just Google him, he has some sort of crypto thing, and like people have been suing him or whatever, not paying people, scamming people, and that's the kind of things that you'll notice in this sphere that Musk hangs out with. A lot of these like scammery type of people. If you guys haven't seen this movie, it's called BitCon, and it covers that kind of world. These guys may be handsome. Like this guy's in the documentary is named Ray. He's a handsome guy, and he can get away with all kinds of stuff. And when you look up the Mario guy, and I guess you could say Mario's a handsome guy. But yeah, because I never looked into Mario before, but that's the kind of people that Musk will sort of pump out or pump up. That's a better way to say it. And they have this like whole sphere of influencers, right? And I'm just showing you guys this stuff. So there's Musk, Tulsi, Robert Kennedy, Vivek, right? For some reason, Hunter's on this list. It's kind of interesting. Who knows? Ask him. You got Linda, Yaccarino, Prince Walid bin Tayal, President Bolsonaro, like all of these people. Like, and I don't want to go through all these names, but it's the same kind of like bro people. And it's interesting how they all pump each other up, right? I'm just showing you guys different pictures. I just noticed this. I was like, that's really interesting. It's all the same people. And I think there's this, like, again, this group of dudes that just worship these guys for some reason. It's strange. Trump is still supporting Musk, and now they want to go after both the military and Department of Education. And the last thing I want to mention is the White House, their press room now, they're inviting more and more sort of these right-wing influencers that appeal to young dudes. That's what they're going for. And I guess they've gotten 11,000 applications from these sort of podcaster, YouTube-y, questionable credential people. And the room now is full. So they'll have like seats, right? And then they got a bunch of standing room only. You would think this is a fire hazard, but who knows what, I don't know what they're doing. And then the other thing too, I noticed in the Pentagon, they've kicked out more traditional media people and bring in sort of like your right-wing, again, YouTube-y, online kind of stuff. And this is sort of what they're trying to do is same as, Musk's agenda basically is get you to believe everything all day, every day that he tweets out on Twitter. But you have to understand it's coming from a lot of meme type people, questionable crypto type people, and a lot of sort of, again, the audience of young dudes who, the best way to describe it is, are like angry teenagers who are upset if their parents say you should wear a seatbelt. It's kind of like that. Anyway, I would like to hear your thoughts on any one of these things. Please be careful out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.